All right, today we're going to talk about graphing, and one part of graphing is being able to plot points. So you first need to know what we're talking about when we talk about an x-axis and a y-axis. The x-axis is the left-right axis, and the y-axis the up-down. The origin is the original starting point of 0, 0. So that's where we count from when we're counting to plot a point. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually plot the point negative 5, 3. So to be able to do that, I need to show that the left-right movement, let's make that red, is the x-coordinate, and the up-down movement is the y-coordinate. So if I am plotting this point, I'm going to go to the left, because that's the negative direction for x, versus the positive to the right. 5 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's negative 5. And the y movement, up is positive, down is negative, up 3. And there's the point, negative 5, 3. I'm sure this is review for most, if not all of you. So I just want to reiterate what that was. Now, next thing is quadrants. There are 4 quadrants, and they go counterclockwise around as they go up. This is the first quadrant, second, third, and fourth. One thing to keep in mind, any point that is actually on an axis, is not in one of the quadrants. It's on the axis, not in the quadrant. So the 0, 0 point, the origin here, that's not in a quadrant. All right. So let's plot these following points. In fact, I'd like you to plot them on your own with a little piece of graph paper, or even just make an XY grid and kind of roughly plot where they should be. And then when you're done, we will do it here. So pause the video, plot those points, and we'll come back. And you can even state which points are in which quadrant, 1, 2, 3, 4, or none. Okay, we're back. So let's plot these points. I'll try to color coordinate them. P is 7, negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down to there's P. Q is negative 2, 7, back to up 7. 1, 2, 3. And there's your Q. R is 0, left to right 0, up 5. There's R. S is negative 1, nothing up or down, so S is right there. T, I'll have to get that color, is 1, 1. So there's your T. And finally, U, let's see, that was this one. U is negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the left, and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's your U, capital U. Capital letters for each of these. All right, the next thing is we want to write down which quadrant each is in. P would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Q is in quadrant 2. R is not in a quadrant. S is not in a quadrant. It's on an axis. Maybe I should put those on the other side so we don't get them confused with a 10th quadrant. It's not a 10th quadrant. T is in the first quadrant, and U is in the third quadrant. hopefully you were able to pick up all that, and let's move on to the next thing, which is if you're in class, I'll be giving you a problem or a group of points to plot, and it's kind of a dot to dot. If not, and you're remote, then I will send it to you through Google Classroom and have you try it on your own. Once you have tried it, then you may watch the video and see what the answer looks like. So please pause the video, try that example, and then you can see the results. Now that you've done that, hopefully yours came out like this. Whether you think of that as a turtle or a dinosaur, whatever, it's that shape. So please see if you did it right. If not, please contact me so that I can help you figure out what you're doing wrong. Now we're going to graph some lines. Now when I go to graph one of these, if you have just a variable equals a number, like y equals 7, no matter, you've got x's and y's for these points. If you are only told y equals 7, all right, that's the up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's where that is. But no matter what x is, y is still going to be 7. So if x is negative 10, y is 7. If x is positive 10, y is 7. All the points in between. All right, so it doesn't really matter there. Let's get this graph drawn. And so it starts and continues through, and there is your line. If x equals negative 4, there's your x-axis. X is negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 towards the negatives. No matter what y is, x is going to be negative 4. So if it's 1, negative 4, 1, negative 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 1, negative 2. It doesn't matter. It's there. So let's switch colors here. And there is the graph of x equals negative 4. So a horizontal line, a vertical line. Remember we talked about that the other day when we worked with writing equations of lines. Now we have slope-intercept form, y equals negative x minus 2. If I'm going to graph this, I need to know what my y-intercept is. That's that b value, that's this. So that's where it crosses the y-axis, down 2 in this case. And the slope in this case is negative what? Negative 1. It's understood to be a 1 next to that negative. And so I can put it over 1 to make it a fraction. And when I do so, every time I go down 1, that's the up-down part, now I have to go to the right 1. So down 1, right 1, and it continues like so. Or we could have written, that's the same as 1 over negative 1, right? So I could have gone up 1, left 1. You can see it follows the same pattern. So let's graph that. And there is your line. Let's fix that. All right, better. Next example, y-intercept is negative 1, down 1. My slope is 6. So that means it's 6 over 1. I'm going to go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right 1. I can't go that again. I don't have enough room. On your graph paper, you probably have enough room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down, left 1. Now I have my 3 points, and you should always have at least 3 points when possible to graph. So that way, if you made a mistake with one, hopefully you can fix it. Ooh, there we go. Hopefully you can fix that mistake or catch the mistake if you if you have 3 points. Because if you had 3 points and one's here, and one's here, obviously something is wrong. It's not going to be a straight line. Okay, let's continue on. Here's our next one. What's the y-intercept? Nothing's being added or subtracted, so nothing or 0. My y-intercept in this case is 0. My slope is 1/2, so I go up 1 to the right 2. Up 1, 2, up 1, 2, or down 1, back 2. Now I'm going to graph that. And there's the equation of that line. Finally, or I think this is the last one, I have 5 for my y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, you'll remember in the last lesson, we couldn't get a y-intercept that was positive. There's one. Now I've got a slope of -4/3, -1, 2, 3, 4, positive 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And that's enough points. I can graph that. And there's my graph. All right. I think that's it for today. All right. So that's the end of the lesson. I hope it was clear to you. If not, let us know. Thank you very much.